Good morning, Stephen. Here's the machine, the Breville Barista Express BES870. So as you saw in the photos, the machine is in decent condition, not too bad. It is a used machine, so it does have some, standard wear and tear. Mainly around the front, it's some scratches around the front, dents, one, two, and a bit of scratches around the back here as well. A couple of dents around the front and some scratches, but look, this is what happens when you use your machine. So even when you buy them brand new, you get scratches within days. But yeah, it works fine. I've just finished doing the service on it, no problems, and I've recalibrated the grinder, and we are ready to make a coffee. So when you turn it on, first it takes about a minute to warm up, a minute for the boiler to reach temperature. When these lights go on, that's when it's ready to make a coffee. So the boiler is up to temperature now, but it's good to warm up the other components as well in the coffee making process. So your group head, your portafilter, and your cup as well. If you have that, you can have that on top of the machine for 10 or 20 minutes, and it'll get nice and warm as well. I'll grab my cup now. Okay, so yeah, you can wait 10 or 20 minutes for those components to stay warm or to get warm. But if you're in a hurry, if you just turned on the machine and you want to make a coffee straight away, you can warm it up quickly by running a blank shot. So what that entails, you put on the handle, no coffee in the handle of course. You put your cup under the spouts and you press the double button. This is going to run hot water through the machine, warming up the group head, the cup, the portafilter. And as a bonus, it also cleans any oils or grounds that are stuck up in the shower screen. So I recommend doing it anyway, just because it has that cleansing property. Do that once or twice and you're good to go. After that's done, you want to take out the portafilter and dry it. It's best to dry the portafilter before grinding, so that the coffee doesn't clump up. Your machine comes with basic accessories like the single and double baskets, and the cleaning disc, and obviously the tamper. This double basket takes about 18 grams of coffee, so I'm going to try to put that much, and I'm going to use my scale to dose 18 grams. You don't need a scale to get a good coffee, but it's recommended. It just makes life easier when you know how many grams you're getting into the basket. So I've put the grind size on number 4. I think it's a good range. Sorry, a good number. So it's in the range of espresso at number 4. The only way to confirm if it's the correct grind size for my beans is to make a coffee on it. And of course, it's important to use good beans. If you use really cheap beans or really old beans, the coffee will be runny regardless of grind size. So yeah, grind size number 4. I'll keep the grind amount on about 12 o'clock and the filter size on double because we're using the double basket. If we get too much coffee or too little coffee, we'll adjust this accordingly. And if the coffee runs too quick when we're making it, so when we bring the espresso, it comes out really quickly, we need to make this one click finer and try again. If it comes out too slowly, we need to make this one click coarser and make it and try again. So it's like a balancing act really, and once you get it right, it's almost set and forget. If you use the same beans for a year, you'll be able to keep the same settings for a year. So you don't have to worry about this every single morning. It's only when you first get the machine in, and when you first change the beans actually as well. Okay, so let's see what we get. Okay, quite a bit of spillover. Looks like we have a bit too much coffee. Yeah, that's a lot of coffee. So let's measure that. So that's 18 grams. So it will spill over if you do it in one go. What you can do, you can put it, I think, on the single and about 10 o'clock and try again. That way it'll give you, instead of going 18 grams, it'll give you 9 grams and then it'll stop. After that, you can press it down with the tamper, then grind again and tamp again. But this is what you get. About 18 grams after the excess has fallen over. Before pressing it down, what I'm going to do, I'm going to flatten it with my palm. You want to press on a flat surface, more or less. And press it down nice and even, firm pressure. You'll notice that before I pressed it down, it was about level with the basket, and once I pressed it down, it was level with the tamper silver line on the tamper. So these are like rules of thumbs that you can follow. Like, let's say you don't have a scale or you're in a hurry. What you can do is fill it all the way to the top, scrape off the excess like that with your finger, press it down, or whatever coffee you have, press it down and check the depth of the tamper. If it's approximately in line with the top of the basket, the line between the silver and the black, if it's in line with the top of the basket, then that's about the right coffee. That's the right depth you should be getting if you have the correct amount of coffee. Before you lock it in, just make sure you have clean edges around the portafilter. As you see, it's nice and flat, smooth, which is what you want. Lock it in all the way to the right. I'm going to get rid of this hot water now. And I'll demonstrate that you've got a hot water tap. It'll give you clean hot water straight from the boiler. So I'm going to use a bit of that. You can use this for making a long black coffee. You can use it for making tea. In this case, I'm using it to dissolve the sugar at the bottom of my cup. I like to add a bit of hot water just so that it mixes nicely with the espresso. Great. So just like we measured the input, 18 grams, we want to measure the output as well. So we want to aim for a 2-to-1 ratio in about 20 to 30 seconds. So what that means, for every gram of ground coffee, we want 2 grams of liquid espresso. So I'm going to aim for 36 grams, so that's double of 18. And I'm hoping that 18 grams comes between 20 to 30 seconds from the button press. These are the numbers that I follow to make my coffee taste nice. You don't have to follow the numbers to the dot. It's just a guide to help you get good coffee, and honestly the end result is good coffee and good flavors. So do what makes you achieve that. In my case, I'm going to be following these numbers just as a starter for you. Okay. These buttons here are programmable, so you can make them whatever length you'd like. I've reset them to factory settings, but I'm going to be reprogramming the double for you, just to show you how it's done, and to set up the machine for you when you get it, so that it's ready to go. You turn on my scale. This is how you reprogram the buttons. So you press program, then you press the button you want to program. It'll start making coffee. You press it again and it'll stop, and remember the length of coffee. When you make the coffee, just pay attention to 2 things. Just the pressure gauge, you want it to be on top, around the 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock area. And the flow, you want it to be nice and smooth, symmetrical, etc. I'm going to time it as well, so that we can confirm it's in the right speed. Pressure is at about 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. Very good. Nice smooth flow. And that's 22 seconds. So in 22 seconds we got this much coffee. Not bad at all. We have some symmetrical flow. The crema is looking nice. That's 35 grams. So pretty much what I was aiming for. Perfect. The grind size is perfect. So 35 grams. Let me put back the phone. Yeah, so you can follow these settings. Grind size number 4. Filter size at double, and this at 12 o'clock. It might make a bit of a mess. You can, like I said, do the half, or you can just go in one go. Yeah, this tastes really good. Now the steaming part. So you want to turn on the steamer. I should rather say clean the portafilter before you steam, but that's okay. We'll do that later. So the machine takes about 10-15 seconds to start steaming. Once steam starts going, sorry, I was just filling my jug with milk. Once steam starts to come out, turn it off. Carefully put on the wand into the milk. Keep the milk swirling in a vortex. Keep the tip close to the surface so that you inject it as it spins. And I'm going to stop the steam when the jug is too hot to handle, which is right about now. So that's about 55 degrees. Yep, right there. Give it a purge before you let it cool down. Just a purge. Sweet. You can do what you can do the purge after the machine cools down. So it's really up to you. That's some really good milk. Not a lot of bubbles. If you do have bubbles, knock it on the jug. Knock the jug on the counter. And then keep swirling it until the surface is nice and smooth on top. There we go. Very nicely textured milk. Honestly, with some practice, you can do latte art with this machine. That's not a problem. But I haven't done any latte art today. Yeah, so that's the coffee and that's the machine. Hope you enjoy. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate. And I'll see you soon. Thanks.